Buff Nation, what's going on? Wanting to dive a little bit deeper into Shedeur Sanders' performance against North Dakota State. Obviously, there's a lot to be encouraged about, but as you dive deeper into this, I think the more and more impressed I become. So, of course, y'all let me know your thoughts on this and Shedeur Sanders in the comments. Like and subscribe. That's going to help spread this out to other Buffs fans. But let's go ahead and get this going. So, this is all credit to Pro Football Focus, and I love how they're able to separate all of Shedeur's different passes in 12 different spots on the field. You see behind the line of scrimmage here, then also 0 to 10 yards, 10 to 20, and then 20 plus. And I love what you see here is that there's pretty even distribution all throughout the field. Now, of course, in my opinion, if there is one spot on the field, if you're going to be a little bit heavier than the others, I think it's very important that Shedeur is throwing a lot of his passes right here in the middle of the field. Why is that? Because, hey, if you're not able to hit those passes over the middle consistently, then it becomes very easy for the defense to just kind of defend like this. The old Russell Wilson Denver Broncos issue. So, all too familiar with it at the NFL level. But I love to see that Shedeur was not only attempting the middle of the field, but was absolutely money. I mean, pretty much a perfect quarterback rating, just a couple points down from what would be a perfect quarterback rating here over the middle with a 156.3 NFL passer rating. 3 of 4, 141 yards, and a touchdown. He was fantastic. Then, when you also look down into the right, the outside right, amazing numbers as well. 2 of 3, 53 yards, and a touchdown. And then, of course, as you get a little bit closer to the line of scrimmage, just perfect. 3 of 3 over the middle in between 10 and 20 yards. Excuse me. So, big takeaway here. Well, I'll get into that here in a second. But the other thing that I'm wanting to take a look at has been the pressure numbers here at the bottom. Okay. And what I think is pretty interesting, you go ahead and erase this and enlarge this a little bit, is that under the clean pockets, Shedeur was incredible, as always. 76.9% completion percentage when he had a clean pocket. And another really big takeaway here is when he was under pressure in those 12 dropbacks here, he was still hitting 75% of his passes. Insanity. These numbers are not common. And he actually had, I mean, look at this, under pressure, averaged about 20 yards per attempt as opposed to 11 not under pressure. So that's kind of interesting. The ball was going farther as he was under pressure. That kind of makes sense. The longer you have to wait, then eventually the offensive line will break down. But again, kept clean on 70% or so of his dropbacks. Huge success for this line coming out week one. Can they replicate it week two? I would like to think so because Nebraska's in a tough situation. I think they really are going to have to bank on getting pressure with that front three. Otherwise, if they're not and they're dropping 8 back and Shedeur's having 3+ seconds to throw, I think he's really going to eat them alive. I mean, again, not blitzed, completing 77% of his passes. Okay. And then when blitzed, he completed still an amazing 75% of his passes. He completed 6 of 8 on 9 dropbacks when blitzed. So that means 2/3 out of the time when you're blitzing him, he's making you pay for doing that. I feel very good about Shedeur's ability to deal with pressure because, one, I don't think he's going to be getting as much of it, but also when he is getting pressure, that's usually because he's trying to bide some time allow his receivers to get downfield. And then we saw what Wester, what Horn, what Travis Hunter was able to do. Now, are we going to see a little bit more Will Shepherd or Marion Miller this game? Hey, who knows? Everybody keeps saying it's a different guy every week on offense who's going to explode. And I would agree with that. Who is Nebraska going to work to take away? But if Nebraska gets in an issue where they have to start bringing 4, 5 guys in that front, they're going to have to be playing, more man, so to speak, or they don't have to, but you would think. And I think that really, honestly, whether you're in zone or man, if Shedeur just has enough time to allow those routes to develop, he's going to be making them. Now, it's very important that we give him a nice run game so we can run the play action, all right? Let's take a look at this. Play action. This is why I want to work towards doing this, even if it's not a crazy explosive first half. 83.3% completion percentage off of play action. That is an 11-point bump from 72.7 off of no play action. And it's crazy because he threw for 3 TDs, 1 interception on no play action, and then 1 TD off of play action. But I do think that when you're talking about efficiency, completion percentage, getting everybody in a rhythm, play action's so important, and it's great to see that Shedeur benefiting from that. I mean, not only can he just sit in the pocket, drop back, and dissect you, but he is why I'm so – let me interrupt myself. Why I'm so pumped about this is and why I'm so adamant about Colorado trying their best to establish it's just somewhat of a decent running game against Nebraska is because he's even better off of play action in terms of efficiency. Now, passing depth. I want to give Pat Shurmur a great credit for mixing this thing up because as I alluded to at the beginning of this video, look at how even distribution this is. Beautiful stuff. 8 passes, 20 and beyond. 6 in the medium range. 9 in the short game. 9 behind the line of scrimmage. We're mixing it up, keeping enough of variety of what we're trying to do to where it's keeping the defense on their heels. Very important. So as we get ready for Nebraska, as we go into this matchup, again, can we win in a similar fashion to what we did last year? Yes, if we're just going to pass it every play pretty much, but I don't think that's the best plan, right? I think we can win that way, but I don't know if that's the best plan to ensure that. We want to win time of possession this game. We want to give Shedeur looks off of play action, and we want to keep him clean in the pocket, getting rid of these passes right here so that, hey, if he's got to take a shot on a long ball every now and then, he's able to do that, take a little bit of contact, but let's keep him clean for the most part. Let's give him easy reads early on to get rid of the ball. That was one thing that I liked, even though I wasn't like a huge fan of the plays at the beginning of the game. They got the ball out of Shedeur's hands early and quickly, and I think that's going to go well in getting him into a rhythm. So, of course, very impressed with the game plan offensively from a passing game plan standpoint. I thought we did a very good job, and I would expect Pat Shurmur as well as Robert Livingston to kind of open up the playbook a little bit more this week. As most of us has said, we beat North Dakota State and on offense and defense by not doing anything too crazy. You want to put pressure on them in this game in Lincoln. So y'all let me know your thoughts in the comments. I cannot wait until this game on Saturday. So thank you guys so much. I'll be back again soon. As always, go Buffs.